Well, I had just started making some video on a subject that I was working on, and then a much better idea came to me that I am going to do now. There are many, many, many people out there who are just waiting for Jesus to come back. And there's a important element that they have missed in all of this, and they believe it because they believe this term to be synonymous. They believe that the second coming of Christ is the same thing as Jesus returning. They're not the same. There are people over in a little Middle Eastern country known as Israel that are still waiting for their Messiah to land back on that place and do whatever it is they think he's going to do. However, the point being that the second coming of Christ, you need to understand when and where that happens. And if you don't understand that, then you really don't want Jesus to come back. The second coming of Christ happens in here, right now. Believe it or don't, understand it or don't matter. And the point being that if the second coming of Christ doesn't happen in you, you really don't want Jesus to come back, because if he comes back before that takes place, I'll say this in a worldly manner, it's going to be your ass. Well, that's just not a very nice thing to say. Well, guess what? You've been sugar-coated and lulled into this world organization bullcrap for long enough. Somebody's got to bring it to you straight up. Okay, so it's not going to be very pleasant for you if Jesus comes back and Christ hasn't formed in you yet. I would imagine it's something like this. Let's just say Jesus came back today, and all of the people who followed all their leaders in religion, and they never got led down the correct path, they get word of it. Yay, Jesus is back. Let's go see him. Everybody goes and sees him, and they walk in, and he goes, who are you? Bye. Because if Christ is not formed in you, just even like the book says, that's what he's going to do. He's going to give you the wave. It doesn't matter what religion you are. The Christians are no better than the Muslims, are no better than the Jews, are no better than the Sikhs, are no better than the Hindus, no better than the Buddhists. You just take all your world organization religions and throw them into a big pot, because it really don't matter. All those organizations that are taught by men are not capable of teaching you the one thing that you need to understand, and that is that God teaches you. You might be saying, well, hey, Mr. Squirrely Nations, you're a Christian, you're talking about Jesus. Jesus wasn't a Christian. Jesus wasn't for none of this religion. God's not a Christian. God is God. It just happens to be the way he got through to me. When Jesus says, no man comes unto the Father but by me, he's talking about Christ. Christ in you, because there's no other way you're going to get to the Father. There may be many synonymous names for Christ, but Christ is the one I am most familiar with. There are mountains of books beyond this book that you could learn of the Father from. You could learn about the Father, learn about God. But even with all of that information, as available as it is, there's only one place that you're going to learn, and one way that you're going to learn directly from God, and that is Christ. Even if you never picked up a book or never even learned how to read, God is unavoidable because he's everywhere and in everything. The only difference is, if you're not interested, you're never going to see it. I know it always seems like I'm aggravated in my videos. Don't take it personal. I'm not aggravated at you. I'm just aggravated with the people who have wonderful positions in this world and could be teaching people these things, could be teaching them actually something they could use and progress with, and they don't. Because it's just not the way it works. So anyway, I guess we're done here for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was of use.